Good morning, guys. Rick Shaw here. It's the 25th of August, 2021. The boys are really humping this morning. They're working. Got some beautiful clouds. We got our walks in real early. My sweetie and Dorothy and I took another big hike. We took a lot of them this morning. And I'm going to tell you right now, in the sun, when that sun hits you, you can really feel the heat coming off it. I watched Westpac WX weather. Looks like there's a big low north of us around Japan, so that'll probably suck some more rain into us. We're still in our rainy season. I hope it's done by September. Still getting rid of some of them phlegm from the meat and the cheese. I pay for that every time I eat cheese. I just get this thing, mucus stuff. One of my viewers sent me a thing on this one doctor, bearded guy, I can't remember his name, and it was a thing about mucus. And I cut off the cheese and the milk and all that stuff completely, and it went away. It was about a month or so. It just was gone. The choking when I would start to get to sleep was all gone. And every now and again, I just eat a little bit of cheese and I get it right back. I ate that cheese. It's been almost 2 weeks ago, and I'm still just now clearing up from it. So it's just something as I get older. I just got to watch. But yesterday we got a delivery. We got my wife's little flip up thingy finally came for her helmet. The helmet's actually pretty well made. I was surprised for the money how well. They just didn't ship I guess the visor came from somewhere else. It was a package deal. So, but they came at separate times, and I know my wife was a little bit bummed, and I'm like, hey, it didn't come. Shouldn't have even took it out of the box or put it up or something. But it's pretty nice. Fits are okay, pretty good. We like to put on like a little hat or something underneath to keep the sweat off. I never put a helmet on without like a stocking or something over my head or some sort of a hat, because they get too grimy, and I know they come apart to clean, but after you clean them so many times, it just falls apart. I've had some helmets in the past where I didn't wear the stocking on my head, and they just got crappy real quick. I always put a little bit of argan oil in my hair or something like that, or maybe some baby oil or something like that, and that gets in the helmet and just makes them grimy. So plus they get smelly. Ever since I've been wearing, this has been about 15 years ago, I started wearing those little beanie caps, and ever since I've been doing that, it just took care of the problem. We keep them real clean, keep them aired out. It's just like shoes. My father taught me, when it comes to shoes, never wear the same pair of shoes 2 days in a row. Give them time to air out and dry. And I do the same with the helmet. I've always had more than one helmet. I have two right now. I have the Shoei, and then I have the HJC. And both of them seem to fit pretty good. I have my head comes to a point here, so the Shoei has always been the best fitting helmets for me. But I got to say, this HJC, I don't even know I got it on my head most of the time. But the only thing I don't like about them is you can't buy an off-the-rack visor like this one. You can't, because they got two snaps out wide and they're weird spacing, or they're screws. They're not even snaps, they're screws. I would love to find where I could screw in the snaps so I could put a regular visor on, and trying to get HJC to get you any parts. It's a Korean company here in the Philippines. It's just like Sony. You ain't getting crap, guys. They just don't. I've gone back and forth with HJC Manila, and they just, yeah, sure, we're gonna blah blah blah, and then nothing. You get crickets from these people. Same with Sony. I got this Sony cam that I'm filming on right now. It's a great camera, but if something goes wrong to it, you throw it in the garbage, because you're not getting any help here in this country from these big companies. It's just like Philippines is a red-headed stepchild. They just don't seem to care. And that really sucks, because we know a lot of folks that are pretty well-to-do, and they spend money. They spend money. They're buying nice motorcycles. They're young up and coming, kind of like yuppies here. You think that these companies would start saying, hey, we better start paying attention to the Philippines, but they don't. I still, all the time, I go to that Harry's camera. I go online. I look for stuff for this camera. I'd love to have the little finger thing that holds the mic, for when I'm walking. I'd like to have a lot of stuff, but you're not getting it here in this country. And this baloney about, oh yeah, well you can get it through Amazon. Well, yeah, good luck with that, guys. I went to try to buy on Amazon one time some snow seal for my boots. And I like to keep them protected, even in this heat, just to keep the mold and fungus and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't that expensive, but by the time Amazon was done with the import taxes and the shipping and all that, it was $108. So Amazon for me is out, and import tax here, it seems like they're cutting their nose off to spite their face. I remember when this president here came in, that was one of his big things. We're going to get rid of that and blah, blah, blah. Well, no, he didn't. He didn't do it. Once he got in, he didn't do a thing about it. So, that was of no help there. But it is pretty high, the import tax here. Now that is good. I guess it's good for the people because, like Kawasaki, they got to build them. There's a place up towards Manila where they build all the Baja Kawasaki's, and that's good for the Filipino worker. But bringing stuff in like a retiree like me, I'd love to brought a motorcycle or something. Not that I'm in the business of going to sell them. I want it just for me. Just for mine. It's not like I was going to go buy a brand new one. I mean, you can buy a lot of bikes here. You can buy, they got the BMWs, big Kawasaki's. You can buy Suzuki's. You can buy a lot of the bikes that you get in the States. They're a little bit more, but not a whole lot. I don't know if they got some kind of deal with customs or not. But they're not that much more than what they would be in the States. And like for me though, having a super bike here, I don't want nothing to do with it. I just don't. I've had them. Believe me, I've had them. And in the States, yeah, I think I loved them. I had a supercharged Dyna with nitrous on it that I fixed up that would really cruise. I could actually get on the highway and cruise at 130 on that thing easy, and it had power to burn. I mean, if I had the limiter still set at 150. I didn't take it off of that, but if I wanted to go from 130 to 150, it was like a blink of the eye. I didn't even have to shift. It had loads of power. I've had the Suzuki 1000s, 1100s, super bikes. The Honda. The Honda. They make some nice super bikes, and I've had them. But here, I just personally myself, I'm not you. You got to decide what you want. But I have no desire, to spend the money on something like that I'm not really even going to use. Some of the super bikes for me are super uncomfortable. I want a big dirt bike next. My next bike is going to be a big, cushy, probably the Honda, maybe the CRF 300L, and just leave the suspension alone. Let it be squishy. I just want to not hit a bump. This guy right here, I washed him up, but he's all dirty. It got rained on, and with all the dust and stuff, it got dirty right away. So I should have covered it up. But all the speed bumps and stuff here, I just wanted to eat these bumps up. I don't want, I don't want the uncomfortable. I want to sit upright. Even this one, the handlebars could be a little farther back for me, but this one I hit a pretty good bump on it. I didn't, they don't paint all these speed bumps, and you might see 7 or 8 in a row. And I was coming up this road, and I didn't see the speed bump. The way the sun was shining on it, there was no shadow to it or anything like that, and I hit it at speed. And I'll tell you what, it whacked me right in the back, big time. So, I want a dirt bike that's gonna make that more friendly. Some of the speed bumps, they'll paint them, but most of them they don't. And it is a thing here in this country. If one person gets a speed bump, the neighbor's got to get 2. I'm telling you. I don't see a lot of these places. You're going to get guys that fly over them anyway. We've seen it. We've seen where these guys are getting in a big hurry, jeepneys and stuff. They just blast right over them. If they're in a hurry. So I don't get all of them, but that's here. That's just the way they do things. But they're really digging out these areas over here for the houses that are going to go in. I'm glad they got that big scraper. That'd be nice to use that for digging for their pylons for these houses. But we're really humping big. I see that something else too. Going to the U.S. stuff that's going on there. Watch for the audits. They're supposed to. It's the 25th here today, but for you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. they're supposed to release the results of the Arizona audit. So keep an eye out for that. They're filling up the news with all kinds of other baloney. But watch for that. I'd like to see what happens. I'm going to be watching for it. I doubt anything's going to happen abruptly, no matter what. Either way, I don't think anything's going to happen abruptly. I don't like. I'm watching the Don. I really did not like at all when he signed that $2.2 to $6 trillion bill, open-ended bill. Why didn't he have some of his good people reading it? And if they had to have something on him, or he was doing deals with somebody for him to sign that for all the crap that was in it. Now they got another one. There's probably a bunch of crap in it too, and they're just going to jam it through. No help to the people of America, but helping themselves. And now I see the Don is pushing the jab. What happened there? What happened that? He's going to drain the swamp, but I guess only the end that he wasn't standing in is what it looks like to me. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to put this out, what I'm thinking. And he's pushing for this thing right now. How'd they get to him? Did they say, okay, you're going to be one of the protected class? You and your family. You got to push this, though. Do they got that much hold over them? These people, they get so much money, and it's just never enough for them. And then you look at people like our man Manny here. Morning. You look at our man Manny. He helps his people out. I'm sure he'd help them out all the way to being broke. Just a good person. And you look in the States. I'm to the point this next time, he'd be the way to go, the Don. But it's here we go again. They never give you really good choices. It's always got to be the lesser of two evils, and they're playing us, guys. The left and right wing are two wings of the same bird. I'm not seeing any different as I get older. You look at your good guys like Kennedy, who wanted to get rid of this fiat currency. They killed him. That's what they would do. Same thing with Lincoln. He got rid of the fiat currency, got rid of the debt. Boom, killed him. I'm sure if the Don would try it, they'd get him too. There's just too much power for this. A lot of the stuff that's going on in this world, what's going on in Australia is just a travesty. New Zealand, Canada, test cases for just prison planet, guys. They're gonna lock you up in your own homes. And if you go out, they're going to give you these huge fines. Look in Australia, they got some kids. They gave them $1,000 fine. They're putting them in cuffs and giving them fines. Oh yeah, why don't you go after the big bad robbers, guys? You got to go after little kids. They take a little girl, 12 years old, and spray her with mace. There's a lot better way to handle that than that. But no, they're authoritarians, jackbooted thugs. And if you don't think they are, guys, that's exactly what they are. This has all happened before, and it's happening again. And if you guys don't see it, I can't help you. I see it. I see it clear as mud. It's the same thing's happening over. And will there be a reset? Absolutely. There's going to be a reset one way or another with what's going on in this world. And them forcing this jab on people. Go to the links on there. I've put them up. I put the link up on a bunch of other videos in the descriptions with this COVID thing, and people getting sick and getting hurt from it. And it's the percentages are going up. You can see all kinds of numbers of where these are high on this, and now they're enlisting the aid of the people who got it. You don't get it. Now, these, from what they're saying is, you get the jab, you can still catch it, and you can still transmit it. Oh, but it won't be as bad. Yeah. And then now they're going to try and force people who don't want it to get it. They're going to make them lose their jobs. Remember, guys, it's a mandate. It's not a law. Mandates, you don't got to follow a mandate. And now, personally, myself, if I were working and they mandated, I would just I would have lost my job. That's for sure. I would have lost my job. And I'd had to go scrounge around and do something else. But luckily in my field, I'm able to move. But I'll see if I can I have a paper, I'll see if I can put it on the end. I don't know if I can do a link to it in the description, but there's a paper. And ask your employers, okay, who's going to be responsible if something's wrong with this? You want to give me this thing? I want to see the list of ingredients. I want, go to your employers. Who's going to be liable if something goes wrong? If you're forced to do this. That's why they took it away from doctors. You can get them for medical malpractice if something goes wrong with you, so the doctors are not saying you get this. They're sending you to a clinic, or a drugstore somewhere where somebody who gives it to you is just somebody who works at the drugstore. So that makes them exempt. So, watch on this stuff, guys. There's just too many red flags on it right now. If you want to get it, I'm all for you getting it. That's up to you. That's between you and your doctor. But, be careful. Just look into things a little bit before you just say, okay. Myself, I'm on the fence on it. As of now, I really just don't want it. That's me, though. That's just me. And like I say, I'm not telling anyone what to do, other than look into it. Look into yourself. Don't be afraid to ask. Just ask and see what's going on. This is going inside your body. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect your family. So look into it carefully. And if you decide that that's what you need, great. That's good. That's fine. But don't come back and say now that I got it. They're trying to make it like it's a badge of honor once you got it, and everybody's posting on Facebook. Ooh, I got mine. Like it's something that you did, like it made you a hero or something. Come on, guys. It's just all propaganda, and they're trying to pit. Another way they pit you against me is what they're trying to do. Us against them. They're constantly pitting rich against the poor. They've been doing it for millennia. And they're going to keep it up to keep us down. That's all there is to it. You got to remember, there's a lot more of us than them. I see these people in Australia running the gauntlet down there with these police, and it's a shame. It's a real shame what's going on. So, but here we go again. I'm going to let you go. We're just taking her easy today. We're going to do some bike riding and just fiddle fart around today, and maybe do a little bit of cleaning. We got a really big thing in here. The way the wind moves through this house under the couch, we get the worst dust bunnies under there. It's unbelievable. I'm thinking of making stuffing something under there around the sides just to keep that from getting so full. Maybe we got some old blankets and stuff like that, or towels or something we could jam in there to keep that, because it's getting bad. And I got to make, since the rain, I got to make some more borax for these ants. We got a couple trails of ants again. Not the little biters, but the medium-sized ones. We got the big black ones, the big red ones. Black ones like a carpenter ant, and then the big red ones, same size as a carpenter ant. And then we got those little tiny ones that burn you, little piss ants. And now we got this medium one here. I don't know if the camera's going to show you, but these little guys, we're starting to get these all over the place. Now they don't bite. They do not bite or anything like that, but I had put some stuff out for them, and I knocked, some borax, but it rained, washed it off, and I had knocked them down considerably. There was just a whole bunch popped up out of the wet ground right here in our little garden area. That's the only place I'm seeing them now, right here and by the front door. But they're starting to get in the house. They're taking the bait inside the house, but I'm gonna put some more just on the concrete. It seems like they eat it better if I just mix it up. I'm mixing it up with sugar and then the borax. I'm doing three spoons of sugar now and 1 spoon of the borax, and mixing her up pretty good, and then with hot water, and then just pouring it on top of the concrete. And it's just like it's just covered. It's just completely surrounded with these ants getting some of that. They really like it. And like I say, it knocked the numbers down. I had a trail that was a good 4 inches thick going up this wall the other day. It just was amazing how many of them were coming out of the ground. But we actually had the rain came down so hard that one day there was a lot of standing water. Now this place drains good. I have to honestly say about this little development, it's drained very well. We don't get a lot of water. We lived in GMA where we seen rivers going past the house because we were up on top of the ridge. Now we've been to other places. When I was down in Davao, you'd be halfway up to your knee in water. That place flooded a lot. I mean, it rained every night, and if it rained real hard, there was flooding. That place is just real close to sea level and very wet. But we've seen it in a lot of places around where you're driving through a lot of standing water. We have a thing on the highway here. There's a spot where you're coming down a big hill coming back to Lipa City, and they just didn't drain the highway right. I don't know if there's a drain. They need to cut a drain in there, and it's not good. Hydroplaning. There's been accidents there. This is a toll road, and you expect them to take care of that. They're collecting the dang toll. Fix it. Every time I go through there, I tell them, hey, talk to your boss, guys. When they go to do the toll thing, even though it's a drive-through, there's still somebody sitting there. I tell them, hey, why don't you, we're paying for this road. There's a big standing water thing back there. When are you going to fix it? And I keep saying it every single time. So somebody says it to their boss, so they can get out there and fix it. Because it's gonna get somebody killed. We know it's there, and when it's raining, we always slow down. And this is our rainy season. And I'm starting to see, if you look at the way the clouds are moving, they're coming from the, looks like southeast, more east than south. This stuff's getting drawn up because of what's in Japan. And so I'm thinking last couple times I've seen this, it looks like we're going to get a bunch of rain coming up. I don't know. I'm not a weatherman, but I think we're going to have some rain coming up again in this coming week. But watch that guy on Westpac WX Weather if you want to see the weather in this area. I think he's the best one. They have a lot of weather places. I look at them all, but from what I can see, he's the most thorough. He does all of the Asian area, the Pacific, South Pacific, and all that. And he gives the weather all the way over in Guam, Australia, Philippines, Japan, and the guy's pretty sharp. He's doing a good job. Tropical Tim's the one who turned me on to him, and I've been watching him ever since. I subscribe to his channel. Some of these channels I've noticed, that guy's not political at all, but I was unsubbed from his channel twice already. So there's something with YouTube. They're not just after people, I don't think. I think there's a glitch in their matrix that you get unsubbed. Because I was unsubbed from Westpac WX twice, and I did not unsub from that guy. I want to see his stuff every time it pops out. So watch the weather here. And there were a couple other channels that I just haven't seen for a long time. I thought maybe they quit. There was one dude, Think About It, and I just didn't see him for a while. And now he popped back on. I wasn't unsubbed though. And there's a lot of them. There was a lot of motorcycle ones that I like to watch. They just don't pop up in my feed anymore. I actually went through and did a lot of channels that, I look at their channel, and if I see they haven't put a video out in quite a while, I just delete them. Because I don't know if that clouds it up to where they're not sending you enough notifications. I don't know. I don't know how the YouTube thing works. So, but I do see a lot of stuff with some of the YouTubers here that are making money. I guess they're cracking down on them because of this COVID thing. Government's not getting enough money, so they're wanting their taxes and all this kind of stuff. There was a Filipino couple that had 11 million viewers. I never saw their channel, never even heard about it until this, but I heard they just shut their channel off, and they say they're not paying their taxes. I don't know. And then I start seeing there's YouTubers that are fighting amongst each other over, who's doing what and all this. And I just want to. I look at some of the stuff. There's that the Raw something or another, and I was watching that. My wife watches some of that, and now I'm just at the point, you know, if these guys are doing something wrong, they'll eventually get caught. I don't even want to chime in on it too much. It's just don't need it. I don't think that they should be doing one. I did watch one video on that one Joe or something like that, and the way he was belittling some kid. I wouldn't have done that on there. We do get a lot of people who panhandle, and they look like they're doing pretty well, and they got nice clothes or a watch and they're panhandling. But you guys got to remember, that is illegal in this country. You're not allowed to panhandle. That's illegal. And you're not allowed to give to somebody who's panhandling. That's illegal. You know, you just don't do it. So be careful on that. Now, will they get you on it? Probably not. I mean, you look what happens when we get into jeepneys a lot of times. When we were living up in Carmona, a lot of times I didn't want to drive to somewhere. There was going to be traffic, so we would take a jeepney or something like that. And you got these, they look like Swahili ladies. They're wearing their big serape and all this stuff, and they got some kid. I think they drug these kids because they look half dead. And they get in and they hand out these envelopes saying, "Give me money." And then they ride the jeepney, and the jeepney guys don't stop them. They just get in and they ride for a couple stops, and then they collect up all their little envelopes and they get out. You know, and it's like a syndicate, guys. And if it was illegal, you think that they would go after those guys, because they're just wide out in the open. I mean, they're standing there waiting. They got just droves of them waiting in some areas to get on the jeepneys to try to get money. And then I see a lot of these young kids. They're just put up to it by their parents. I would never berate any of them like that. But you see them. They got their hair dyed, you know, and they're got dirty clothes. But you know, they're still nice clothes. I think they dirty themselves up on purpose. It kind of looks like they just put some dirt on their face. It's not like it's ground in dirt that's been on there for a long time. I've seen some poor fellas here that don't have a lot. They're wearing old slippers and all that stuff, and you could see some dirt's really ground into them. And these kids aren't that way. But I would never berate them or anything like that. You know, I just know it's sorry, it's against the law. You know, that's what I'll tell them. And I know my wife. She's very soft-hearted, and she knows people that need help, and she wants to help them now. That's fine. You help them out. But sometimes she should listen. I remember she was going to help one girl, had problems, and I said, nah, I don't trust that girl. My spidey senses are up. I just don't like her. And she needed help for her boy. And then my wife went to give her the money anyway. And next day she's got pedicure, manicure, new jacket, makeup, you know, hairdo. And the boy's still messed up. So, you know, you got to weigh all this stuff. You got to look. If you're going to help somebody, take a real close look. Don't be in any kind of big hurry to help. The people make it. One thing you'll notice here in this country, if somebody's suffering in the family, they band together and they help each other out. You know, and we're part of a family too. It seems though everybody's doing pretty good in my wife's family. Real good. But you do run into people like she had as a cousin from somewhere. He was from some other island or something, came into my house and just kept asking for stuff. And, hi, handsome.
Hello.
But it got to the point it was aggravated. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of my house. He just kept, you got a lot. You give to me. You know, you give to me. And he just wanted stuff that was sitting around. He wanted to, you know, what was he going to do? Carry it all away in a big sack. I don't mind helping anyone out, but this guy really started aggravating the heck, and I finally said, sweetie, I got to toss this guy out. I was just like, get out of here. Hello, mister. We can't see you. We got to get a light inside there. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And
how do you put this down?
You just push it in the hole. Just push. Yeah, you can figure it out. You figure it out. What are you going to say?
Big shout out.
Yeah, Mr. Space guy.
Can you do this?
All right, I'm going to help him with that. I'm going to talk to you guys later. This is Rick Shaw.
Bye-bye.